Thank you for joining us once again from the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, Ontario. The stands are filling up with some excited young students who are going to watch Team Canada play game number 2 as they host the FIBA U18 Americas Championship. Jason Tom here alongside Amy Audubert. Team Canada had a great opening day win against Argentina, looking to carry that momentum into today. And Amy, Canada didn't play their best game yesterday, so you know that they're excited to get back onto the court first thing this morning to try to improve on a couple of things. As we take a look at the starting lineup, let's just take a listen. Great atmosphere here this morning. To a man, everybody is excited to be able to play here in front of their home fans. And a great atmosphere this morning. I talked to everybody here, and that was early, and they just said there's nowhere else that they'd rather be this morning on a Monday morning than right here as we take a pause for the national anthems.
Now, please remain standing for the playing of the Canadian national anthem.
Start to your Monday morning, Amy.
Oh, it was wonderful. You know, I had to take my headset off to make sure I was listening, but all the kids were singing like it was Monday morning in school. A little extra pep in their voice because they're sitting in a basketball gym and not staring at a chalkboard. No offense to education.
Team Canada coming into this tournament said that they would be changing their starting lineup. They can pick from about, say, 7 or 8 guys that they can interchange depending on matchups, and a different starting 5 today than yesterday. But to a man, every one of these players are buying into whatever role they're being asked to play. While Ecuador, they came out strong against Chile yesterday, but just faltered in the second half. But Ecuador is a team, they are not afraid to trigger it. Everybody on this squad can put it up from anywhere on the floor.
And one in particular you're going to want to watch for Ecuador is Michael Moncayo, number 7, who went 5 for 11 from 3 yesterday. He went 9 for 17 from the floor, but 5 for 11 from 3. He dropped 27 points, and I can almost guarantee that that is the #1 thing on the scouting report for Canada, is to lock number 7 up quick and set the tone. Like you said, Canada got off to a bit of a slower start yesterday. They're going to try a different lineup. It's tough the first game of the day, but on the same time, when it's full of kids screaming and cheering for you, that's the best energy you can ask for.
First man on the floor today for Canada during warm-ups was Jaden Bediako, who admittedly struggled yesterday playing in his adopted hometown here in St. Catharines. It'll be interesting to see how he comes out today.
It is, you know, like we saw yesterday, he picked up 2 quick fouls, only played just over 3 minutes in that first half. He only played 9 minutes, 53 seconds in the whole game. So his legs are not going to be burnt out. You said he's mentally focused, going through some warm-ups with Michael Meeks. And you know what I noticed? All basic stuff. He wasn't going crazy and he wasn't trying too much. Really simplified the game, because standing at 6'11" against the smallest team in the tournament in Ecuador, he certainly has the size advantage.
Team Canada with their Triple-A Canadian beef lineup. Addison Patterson, AJ Lawson, Andrew Nemhard, and then you have Jaden Bediako in the middle, and Emmanuel Miller, who had the quietest 18 points I've ever seen in yesterday's game. But man, was he effective. While Ecuador, you see Michael Moncayo, Daniel Sanchez, Edward Sanchez, Kenning Rivera, and Aaron Capurro. Ecuador making their U18 FIBA Americas debut in this tournament.
And as much as it's just an honor to be here, listen, these are the best players in Ecuador. They've got that competitive twitch. They're not here just to be here. They're going to want to compete and be proud of themselves.
Dave Smart running things for Canada, and taking a look at Addison Patterson, who's had the highlight of the tournament thus far. He's throwing it down on a 6'10" Argentinian. And Patterson, who turned 17 2 days ago, gets his first start here playing up. I mean, we're looking at a 16-year-old taking the floor in the starting 5 in the U18 Americas Championship. That is impressive. Bediako will be taking the tip here. Canada starts off game 2 against Ecuador. Ecuador handles off the beginning. Capurro, baseline jumper. No good. Miller coming down with the rebound, and Canada get on the open floor early. AJ Lawson doing what AJ Lawson does.
Well, and you just see the size and athleticism, add the strength to it, in which Canada runs against this squad. So Argentina's key, above everything else, is going to be to control the pace and take care of that ball.
Canada has so much length out there and starting up with a little bit of pressure. Sanchez to Daniel. Capurro. Wing 3, no good. Battling for it, Emmanuel Miller, 40 seconds in the game, 2 rebounds. Lawson gets to the baseline, jumper well off. Ecuador pushing. Moncayo. You can see Canada. You don't want to get in Addison Patterson's way. Two-handed slam, getting the kids hyped up early.
You said the youngest on the team. He's the closest in terms of age to these kids around. He knows how to get them going, and that's how you set the tone right there.
Lots of pressure from Canada. Already half the shot clock is burnt. Edward Sanchez. Yeah, good defense from Canada.
And it dropped too, so you saw the frustration there in Edward Sanchez, because that's a couple seconds difference before getting some points up. But we're gonna go back to this, because what an exciting start for Patterson. There you go, and Ecuador, they've got to get somebody back, knowing that Canada likes to run.
Patterson's gonna be a huge name coming out of Canada over the next couple of years. Class of 2020. He's been so impressive on the AAU circuit, playing out of Orangeville Prep.
I like the plan right now to get a touch to Bediako, get him to feel good about himself. It was a nice, strong move, very simple. Like we said, what they went over, reps and warm-ups. He has a big size advantage. He doesn't have to rush. He doesn't have to go crazy and mentally blow up. Just got to calm down. That's a solid start for Jaden Bediako.
Canada looking fresh in the home whites. Ooh, Nemhard trying to pick some pockets of Edward Sanchez. Kyle, who's their leading scorer in game one, pulls up over the outstretched arm of AJ Lawson, and he cashes it. Nemhard off of Bediako's screen. Those two have not been able to get on the same page as of yet. Be interesting to see how that progresses as the tournament continues. And Moncayo doing exactly what we expected him to do.
And Sanchez did a great thing in that. He
Sanchez
extended and created room, understanding he doesn't have the size advantage, but created space to get that shot off.
Miller. I told you a little bit of everything from Emmanuel Miller. That's something that we didn't see yesterday, was the range. Hold on.
Yeah, you know what? What a great fade screen. I'm pretty sure that was probably on Canada's scout, because they want to get him shooting the ball. Michael Moncayo already talked about how deadly he was yesterday. It was a simple fade and an easy read for Ecuador.
Immediately, Dave Smart said, we want to go over top of that screen. You know, none of these players of Ecuador are going to blow past you on the one-on-one. So you want to make sure you stay tight on the shooters. Maybe not that tight. Nemhard picks up the foul. Sanchez will go line to shoot two.
And even Sanchez listed as 6'2", but I would say that's a pretty generous 6'2". But I'm not saying that in offense to him, because he's doing a fantastic job. Sometimes when you're longer and lanky, you have a hard time when players can get under you. And you certainly see that right off the bat with Sanchez, because he's still finding the rim, and that was almost an and one on a pull-up jumper.
Joel Brown checks in for Andrew Nemhard. I talked to Brown prior to the game. You see as Nemhard picking up a foul, so he goes to the bench early. And Joel Brown said, I mean, willing to do everything for this team. He started in the backcourt alongside Nemhard yesterday. Today he comes off the bench, the sixth man, now running things out there. His coaching staff wants him to be explosive.
And there's still a little bit of chemistry issues. I was cutting, but I was passing, and that's just kind of knowing each other. And I think as this tournament develops, those type of turnovers are certainly going to come down a bit.
That's what you get with a young player like Patterson. You're going to have flashes of brilliance, and there'll be times where that inexperience will come into play. But I mean, he's going to get better with every minute that he plays on this squad. And here's Canada pushing. Miller, great look to Lawson. Emmanuel Miller is one of the most important players on this Team Canada squad, and he set the tone early today. Picking up the dribble, getting in trouble. Bailed out Moncayo now. 10 on the clock.
And there's your fade screen again. And that's 3 shots there, a little bit of body. Joel Brown kind of looking at the official, and whether it was a foul or not, there certainly was some contact. However, that shot clock's winding down. He's got to play straight up defense, especially against a Michael Moncayo, who is their most biggest threat as of what they saw yesterday with those 27 points.
Tyrese Samuel checks in for Jaden Bediako. Samuel becoming the backup center for this squad pretty quick. You know, he's listed at just 6'7", but Samuel has that 8'1" wingspan we were talking about yesterday, and really makes up for any size difference. But at the same time, like you mentioned, Ecuador, the smallest team in this tournament with only two players over top of 6'7". There's Samuel pulling down the board as Canada's lead is down to just one. Look at Joel Brown taking it 1-on-3.
Well, I think Joel Brown still remembers that foul that just got called on the other end and said, oh, I'm going to get it back for you guys. But he's tough to match with his speed. So when he catches the ball and he's in transition, when you're playing defense on him, if you're not able to step up and take a charge, it's tough to guard him in the open court.
Yeah, with Joel Brown, the two words that come to mind are speed and smarts. Canada going to their bench early and often as Jacoby Neath is ready to check in. Addison Patterson checking off for Neath. Canada's going to get a big rest after this game as they don't play until tomorrow evening. Little handoff, back to Velez. This is what we expected from Ecuador, shooting early and often.
Well, they don't have the size advantage. They don't have a giant post they're going to feed the ball to. They certainly want to get up open shots, and they can hit them.
They have their first lead of the game, does Ecuador. Look at Miller. They call him E-Man. This is a U19 world champion you're seeing playing for the U18 squad, and what he brings to this team can't be measured in stats.
Here it is. We're going to say three-man on that play because this is an and one, but it's authority, it's attitude, like you've already alluded to, most experienced guy on this team going, hey, let's go, let's get this thing going.
I don't think you're going to see him come out of this starting lineup at any point in this tournament.
And you always need that. You need that experience, and that's what Nemhard brings too, the calmingness. But got kids screaming Monday morning. Got to come out strong.
Lawson comes out with it, leading the charge. So fast down the floor is A.J. Lawson. Timeout for Ecuador. They want to talk it over. Canada up 4.
Well, that's John Escalante, the head coach from Ecuador. Great timeout, because on the scouting report against Canada, they want to run and they want to get out in transition, and Ecuador has missed that assignment a couple times where they've sent a defender back, and it's easy breaks. We saw it yesterday, Jason, against a team like Canada. The score can change very quickly.
Ecuador placed third at the 2017 FIBA South American U17 Championships. That's how they got into this tournament to make their debut at the U18 FIBA Americas. Canada, of course, the host team, shooting at a pretty good clip right now at 7 of 8 from the field. A lot of that coming in transition. Ecuador only have 8 men available to them. You see him getting out on the open floor, A.J. Lawson.
And that was number 11. If you saw it on the replay, it was number 11 from Ecuador, Sanchez, and he just stood there and kind of watched Canada blow by him. And you'll almost have to be retreating, or at least have your feet moving, because they're longer and they're more athletic. It's that first step past him that leads to an open layup.
Canada has already gone through a good amount of their bench, getting some fresh bodies on the floor so they can keep this little faux full court pressure on. All kinds of contact on the screen. Joel Brown getting laid into twice. Once again, A.J. Lawson to Jacoby Neath. Back up top. Lawson could not corral it, but look who's there. Emmanuel Miller, the steal and basket. Emmanuel Miller doing it all for Canada in the early going.
And Canada setting up a diamond press right now. Great call to use that length to try to disrupt Ecuador, but that's what kills you when someone dribbles right down the middle.
Once again, A.J. Lawson taking it hard to the rim, can't finish. Who's there for the tip-in? Emmanuel Miller. Doing all the things that you need to do to win is Emmanuel Miller. Almost an 8-second violation there.
When the press really slows Ecuador down, they don't get into their offense until 15 seconds left on the shot clock. It has to be a quick read.
More reinforcements coming in for Team Canada. Nemhard gets back into the game. Weza Panzo also coming in.
On A.J. Lawson picking a foul up on that. Off the ball. Getting some coaching from Dave Smart, of course the defensive specialist.
Dave Smart talks to pretty much every player as they come off the floor. Always teaching out there. You got to do that in this tournament. Very few practice hours. Nemhard into the corner. Panzo fresh off the bench and pots it from range.
Well, that's big time because Canada's leading points in the paint 12-2 right now, so showing that outside ability to hit as well makes their offense a bit more powerful.
They started 1 of 9 from range in game 1, so this is a much better start from downtown for Team Canada. Wide open, Andrew Nemhard. No good. Panzo active on the glass. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Panzo filling that role, a little bit of energy off the bench. Well, a whole lot, I said a little bit, but a lot of energy off the bench. Comes in, hits a 3, offensive rebound, put back. And that's what the opportunities you seize when you get the playing time and you get the positions in a rotation like that. You're only at 6 days to get some court burn in this tournament, so you've got to do it quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Panzo with all kinds of length at 6'6". Ooh, he misses them both. Ecuador just trying to get into the half court earlier, and it works this time as Brandon Vechez cashes it. He almost turns it over. Recovers. Nemhard gets into the lane. Great look-away pass. Andrew Nemhard, he plays with flash, but it's flash with a purpose. And there he is with the steal. Nemhard back into the lane. This time tries to keep it himself. I love the no-look and look-away passes that are not done purely to look good. I mean, that's to help the defense bite.
The flip side, Ecuador has got to take care of the ball. A couple turnovers and already now an 11-point game. Things happen very quickly.
With the younger Bediako brother, Charles Bediako, checking in. We have now seen all 10 of Canada's players that played yesterday check in here, and we're only 8 minutes into the game. Brown into the corner. Nemhard no good. 11-point lead for Canada. Ecuador looking to get it back to single digits. Oh, into the lane. No good. Bediako comes down with it. Brown so fast in the open court. Gets his own rebound and puts it back.
We're really starting to see the strength out-power and overwhelm Ecuador in the paint with the offensive rebounds and even the putbacks. If it's a little bit of contact, it's not getting called because of how strong the Canadian players are just finishing through it.
.24-second shot clock violation. Canada's pushed it up to 13 with just 1:05 left here in the opening quarter. Again, we're live from the Meridian Center.
And there you get a look at John Escalante. He was kind of shaking his head a little frustrated after possession. They're getting so flustered.
And there's Andrew Nemhard getting into the scoring column for the first time in this game. Canada's already put up 31 points, and we still got 57 seconds left to play.
Well, just going through how many players did he just beat there, right? And so you wonder, Ecuador maybe wants to play a bit of a zone because you just rotate, step up, and fluster, and make Canada hit the outside shots. Right now, they're drilling in the paint. They're getting to the touch. They're getting the touches inside, and they're finishing a couple and ones already.
Kyle. Yeah, moving screen called on Ecuador. Canada doubling up their opponents right now. 40 seconds to go. Nemhard gets the Panzo. There's Addison Patterson. Nice move into the lane. Soft finish. 4-second difference, shot clock, game clock. Oh, nice up and under, wide open Moncayo.
And that's how Ecuador started. That's how they need to play. Get in, get out, find some rhythm shots.
5 seconds left in the first quarter. Andrew Nemhard, ice cold water in those veins. Nemhard with an 18-point lead for Canada thanks to that trifecta. Big time shot from the leader of this squad.
And I thought Ecuador, although I loved the look, maybe should have held the ball a little bit longer because then this doesn't happen. That's the answer, and the momentum switch was right back to Canada. It's poetic irony that it goes to Nemhard to do that, but they seal the quarter off, and Ecuador very flustered on offense. They started the game with passing the ball, moving, getting some nice open looks outside. But yeah, 3 for 5. Canada from the 3. Canada's really feeling good shooting that ball right now.
They started 1 of 9 from downtown in game 1, so that's a great start from range today. Also dominating the glass. And obviously taking care of the rock is something that head coach Dave Smart's going to appreciate. You see Emmanuel Miller leading the way in the points and rebounds category. Nemhard started the game scoring well yesterday, and today he already has 4 dimes through the opening 10 minutes.
Well, I can almost guarantee he doesn't want to be the leading scorer every game of this tournament. He wants to distribute. He wants to get other guys around him comfortable, because the deeper Canada advances, the more they need everyone else to feel good. Nemhard can't win the tournament by himself. The only person to ever win a drive by themselves is LeBron James. We just saw that, right? That was special. That's not normal.
A bunch of young fans in attendance today. Many nearby schools getting their kids here for the game. Woke up today about 20 minutes away in the subdivision. There was 5 basketball nets out the front door. Not 1 hockey net to be seen.
And you already see Ecuador on the court much more before Canada. It's simple for Ecuador. They've got to take care of the ball on offense, and they can't get flustered by the length. They've got to throw maybe a couple more fake passes, dribble a little bit less, pass the ball around more, get inside the paint, kick it out.
Nemhard measuring the defense. Up top. Panzo couldn't finish it. He gets fouled. He'll go to the charity stripe.
Ecuador foul, number 8, Daniel Sanchez. Substitution, he's replaced
Alvaro Quiroga checks in for Ecuador. So I think that's the one place that Canada is off today has been from the free throw line. Panzo splits a pair. Addison Patterson D'ing up. Moncayo. Ooh, tough attempt at the back door. Nembhard pushing the other way. A wide open Panzo in transition. No good. Joel Brown. Great rebounding guard out there. Nembhard. No good. They're going back the other way as we see Connor Freakin checking in for the first time in this tournament. A future Carleton Raven.
How's that for a little extra pressure? Paying for your future head coach.
He picks up, draws the foul right off the bat.
Ecuador extremely frustrated. They just can't catch a break.
Held on to the arm.
That was an interesting call because there was a lot of wrap up between both players, and I don't know, I always just let that one go. And the ball goes right back the other way.
Amazing how that'll happen fairly often. Freakin now getting the call to D up Moncayo. Ecuador can't get it to go at the rim. Patterson to Nembhard, just slipped off that hand. I think that FIBA ball can get sweaty pretty quick. I think that was Patterson called for the hand check there on the drive.
Well, there you look at Aaron Cabrillo, his length is maybe the most right now important part of the Ecuador offense, because he's been able a couple times to beat Canadian defenders off the dribble and get to the rim. But he's got to finish those shots.
Ecuador saves it. There is Capurro. Pulls up, rises up with that length, no good. Patterson pulls it down. Joel Brown pushing the other way for Canada. Always has those eyes darting around. Freakin splits the D. Patterson kicked back out. Panzo, there's that negative step on the sideline.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday, the same call. It's a split step, and with the court a little bit smaller.
It's something that's emphasized in every Canada camp that I've been in. Still, head coach Dave Smart really liked what he saw from Weza Panzo in the first half. Just over a minute and a half into this second quarter, Canada up 19.
They're really forcing Moncayo to use his left hand. Next time they're guarding up top, take a look at that, the body of the defender, this time for Freakin, but it's been Patterson before, really forcing him to use his left hand.
Ecuador substitution into the game, replacing number 10, Mateo Marcoyo. This was number 12, Edward Sanchez.
Kenning Rivera, 6'8", bringing some size into this game for Ecuador. Sanchez, no good. Bediako came down with the rebound. He was fouled. Canada just whipping through these substitutions. Really like this game plan. As we've talked about it a number of times, 6 games in 7 days.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough for the players to get in some kind of offensive flow when the subs are so quick, but Canada also wants to run. And like you said, 6 games in 7 days, when you want to run the most, I mean, you get out, you get a couple trips down the court, you get a breather. It's kind of a nice mentality to get into a game.
Especially if you do it from the beginning of the tournament, everyone's used to it. There you go, Connor Freakin. The guy that we didn't see at all yesterday, and he checks in from downtown. Monkeo. Rivera. So the pass, was it a shot? Either way, it's a turnover and back the other way, and Charles Bediako politely crushing it home.
And you see how important that ball security is again for Ecuador, because it was a pass that went off the rim, and the other way is a 5-second 2-point basket.
Leads up to 24. Pull up. Well off the mark. Canada pushing time and time again. Madison Patterson no good. Bediako on the glass. Freakin comes out with the loose ball. Miller to Neath. Nice drop off. Bediako again. Just bullying his way in there. He'll go to the line with an opportunity to shoot 2.
This is what I love. You saw Bediako. He didn't immediately step to the hoop. He stayed in his position. He kept the spacing there. As he gets older, he's probably going to drop his butt down a little bit more to get a bit more power underneath him. But the mentality, just keep the spacing and get the pass and then attack the hoop when you have the ball in your hands. It's a great read.
I think we're going to get the Bediako for Bediako swap if Charles hits his free throw. Little brothers holding his own here. He's going to be huge for Canada at the U17 World Cup of basketball coming up.
Kobe Heath getting called for the over the back on the glass, which you don't
Tough,
really,
right?
you know, when the score's like this, at some point you're okay with that because it's showing aggression and hunger for the basketball. So again, you're just recycling players, getting them in and out. And hey, if you can keep the intensity up with those kind of calls, it's not the worst thing in the world.
And I mean, Neath's role on this team is to bully those smaller guards because he is a rather large point guard.
So you take one. Those are the best fouls, and you take one.
Patterson. Ooh, I think Patterson was looking to wrap it up for Emmanuel Miller on the alley-oop and just got ahead of himself and kicked it out of bounds. Patterson is going to be another player on this squad who's going to be huge for Canada at the U17s. With the experience he's getting here to be able to take that into that tournament.
I mean, obviously, yeah, the physical experience of being here and getting reps and playing the game, but then the intangibles, just the leadership and the less nerves and the confidence. That's the big one, right? The confidence. So Bediako and Patterson having a great experience here.
Ecuador got it together in transition but couldn't finish. Ooh, Emmanuel Miller. Bediako can't come down with it. Freakin to Neath from deep, no good. Very good flow for Canada offensively, even when they miss their shots. I mean, they're getting open looks. Ecuador looking for a power up.
And you see Dave Smart, he's not going to slow down his coaching at all. It doesn't matter what the score clock says, because again, it's the challenges. Keep the intensity up, keep running through your stuff. You've got a whole tournament to play here.
Well, I mean, every minute is going to be played back in video sessions for this squad. So there you go. Ecuador finally getting back onto the score sheet. Sanchez off glass. Miller is impressive. This guy's college recruitment is going to pick up some incredible steam throughout this tournament.
Well, that's unfortunate for Ohio State and USC and Oklahoma and St. Bonaventure, who have already got their eyes on him, amongst other ones.
Yeah, I think he has 10+ teams looking at him, but you're right.
It's a tough business.
Don't play well, but don't play that well.
Yeah. Well, even yesterday, you talked about his 18 points, but 6 rebounds and 5 of them on the offensive glass.
He had a 2-minute stretch where he just changed the game for Canada. And I mean, the game was in hand in that second half, but very impressive. Neath head manning to AJ Lawson. Those two played each other a lot in their prep school league this year. Again, freaking one of the unknowns, I guess, of all 12 of the players, but he has been solid coming in playing for his future head coach. Vajez catches it. Miller beneath. Bad handoff there. Ecuador comes up with the steal. Dave Smart wants a timeout, not the next stoppage. Didn't take long. He's going to have a little chat.
Well, he's not even looking at the offensive end. He right now is focused entirely on what's going on defensively from Canada. And on the last two possessions, Ecuador, much smaller. They're not hitting threes on him right now. They're taking it to the paint, and they're scoring over top of taller, longer, more athletic Canadian players. And you can tell he's telling them that's not going to cut it. And if you're not going to step up and do your job, we're going to get someone else who is.
So it's great when you can go through 11 players. You know, that's not an empty threat because they know they have guys that are ready.
Well, Ecuador is on a 12-0 run.
12-0 run, and I'll tell you this, Dave Smart doesn't want to see that run go another minute. Doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter how many you're up. It's breaking that game into different segments, right?
You know what's fantastic? Not only for obviously Dave Smart and his staff, but the coaches, the college coaches recruiting here, is this moment has been set up now for response. Who can respond out of a timeout? Who can get a little bit more angry and dig a little bit more deep and say, okay, you're done scoring now, or lock up for 4 minutes and 31 seconds. And so for Canada, the glass half full is the 5 guys on the court, it's their opportunity to show their character.
Coaches always break the games down into segments, and Canada has lost this last few minutes. Let's see how they respond, again, despite being up 21. Neath now running the point for Canada. Dave Smart seeing a different setup out there. We haven't seen this 5 together. Bediako out to Lawson. Cash from Anthony Jr.
Lawson with the money ball.
Sanchez. Freaking up in him. Canada. Some solid defense there. They heard Dave Smart's conversation, I think.
Loud and clear, right? And probably didn't have to raise his voice too much. When someone of that pedigree speaking to you, probably a bit sternly, you're listening.
I like it because he was on Connor Vreeken in that last time out, but he allowed him to go back onto the court. Even though he knew he was going to pull him off, he allowed him to execute what he was talking about. Saw something that he liked, and then now he pulls Connor back off.
And the future coach and player.
Bediako hits the first. Both teams in the bonus now. They run that same play off the top of the key time and time again.
They run it, but what Canada's done a good job of doing, even though, again, Ecuador got to the rim, was that Ecuador initiated that fade screen from so high off of the 3 that even if the player catches the ball, he's out of position to take the shot. Unfortunately, you got to lock up and not let him get to the rim. Mateo Moncayo at 5'8", or that's who you just saw there.
Vajez at the line. .340 to go here. Canada in control. Bediako, no call. Moncayo. Transition 3, no good. Nice passing from Ecuador. Should have took the first shot because Emmanuel Miller sent it back. And that went off Ecuador.
There's got to be that be quick, don't hurry mentality on offense for Ecuador, because they can't afford to hesitate. You just saw the block. We're going to look at it again. And
should have took it there.
Yeah, and you saw the hesitation. Well, Miller much longer, and so even though you can't hurry and lose your form and spaz out, you've got to be very quick in your decisions.
Miller having no trouble getting into the paint. He'll go to the line.
Foul called on Ecuador's number 10, Emmanuel Miller.
Miller, one of the leading scorers for Canada right now.
At the foul line for Team Canada, shooting 2, Emmanuel Miller.
Again, Canada not cashing them in from the line, struggling from the stripe so far. Splits a pair, does Miller. Moncao running off the screen, pulls up. Miller just shut that down right away. Look at the lengths with Lawson and Miller over there. Nowhere to go for Capurro. Neath pushing. Behind the back dribble. Up top, Panzo hasn't been able to keep his hot streak going from range. Wow, that hurts. Could have let it go. Capurro's toes touching that sideline. Canada will get it back.
Yeah, frustrating for Ecuador. They're going to chip back in. They're going to try their best to chip back in, of course. It's certainly not going to happen that way.
Lawson. Ooh, late call. I think that's going to go on 11, though. We'll see. Nope. Called it on Vajez.
At the line, shooting 2, AJ Lawson.
It's too late when the Canadian players catch the ball in scoring position. Ecuador's got to do all their work with their feet to avoid that ball moving around so quickly and freely. They've got to be a bit more disruptive, and it starts with your feet and your body positioning, because as you see, there are 2 guys on Lawson there, but he catches it. It's too late. He's either scoring or you've got to wrap him up to slow him down.
Sanchez fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Canada swallowing up Ecuador whenever they get into the lane. Oh, Miller almost came up with the steal. Samuel challenging the shot, comes down with the rebound. Enzo to Miller. So quick into the paint, gets his own rebound. Emmanuel Miller active.
Yeah, his stock is definitely going up today. You know, Canada playing a bit more free, 15 assists to Ecuador's 6, and partially because Ecuador's just really been locked down and actually unable to get a lot of shots up offensively, but Canada doing a nice job moving the ball around. They're on pace for 30. 30 assists in this game, and that would be a great team win. And that's the kind of basketball that's most entertaining to watch.
And that's the team that Canada has. They have a bunch of interchangeable parts. Ooh, AJ Lawson, it was halfway down before it came out. Tyrese Samuel active on the glass. Leads up to 30. A dream first half for Team Canada. Knocking on the door is 16. We still got a $1.40 left. One of the few times they were beaten to the glass there, though. Ecuador cleaning up the mess. Neath to Lawson. Again, just 2 players trying to get on the same page there. Pass was off target for a cutting Samuel.
Yeah, and that Samuel's almost, you stay out, you allow the space and the drive to happen instead of crashing to the lane. Just hang out a little, you'll get the kick out, and that's a nice shot or a one dribble pull up or whatever, but like you said, chemistry, spacing, that's all got to come in. This is the best way to learn in game, playing it out.
Giovanni Scott, now the final Canadian to get on the floor in this tournament. Get some floor time now. Lawson, rebound and push behind the back. Keeps it himself. Easy call there.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking right in the line and you saw the defender rotate over, but that goes back to the point where you're just talking about with your feet. You've got to beat him with your feet, and the positioning was perfect. Take a look at the art, just setting up. Lawson's got to keep his head up.
I think both teams thought he was going to the line there for a second.
Oh no, that was a beautiful charge. I mean,
got his feet outside the restricted area. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's Mateo Moncao, the younger brother of Michael.
Vreekin checking back in for Lawson. I think AJ knew that he was a little out of control there. Having a little chat with his coach. Moncayo, the younger Moncayo, and there's Giovanni Scott in transition. Samuel, I think two guys got hands on the ball there. Ooh, Ecuador in transition, pushing it. A little 4-0 mini run here to get some positivity for Ecuador heading into the half. Let's see how they finish it out here. 7-second difference, game clock, shot clock. Neath directing traffic. Gets the basket.
His eyes rubbed, he was trying to pass that one off. Had to throw it up there.
7 seconds to go, Ecuador. Wow. Bailout call there, and Ecuador is going to be able to go to the line to shoot two. Scott picking up the foul.
At the line for Ecuador, number 5, Alvaro
Quiroga. Hits the first. Ecuador pulling 3 defenders back in the backcourt here. Neath. Panzo's asking for it. Samuel gets it, pulls up. No good. 61-37, Team Canada.
And Neath wants to give Samuel that one back, because that was actually a nice clean look from half decent range. Spazzed out a little and threw it up, but again, you saw the communication right after the buzzer. It doesn't matter what the score is, they want to be successful.
Ecuador probably going into the locker room with a little positivity. Had a pretty solid finish to that first half, considering they fell behind by a large margin in the early going.
It's kind of one of those games where you don't pay attention to the scoreboard as much, but if Ecuador takes care of business on offense, obviously on defense, but they've got to score the basketball too a bit, they can hit at a high clip. They can, you've seen them, they're not scared to take threes, and they're very successful from beyond the three-point line. But they just got to go one possession at a time, and if you're Canada, the challenge here is also not looking at the scoreboard and continuing to keep your intensity up and short-term goals, what you want to accomplish, and an opportunity to show you're getting better today.
61 points through just 20 minutes of the first half is pretty solid for Canada. For a team that you could say coming into it, it was the shooting maybe where they were lacking, but not today. Shooting at a good clip, over 55% from the field and 50% from three. Again, it's those free throws that I'm sure they're going to be talking about in the locker room. Obviously dominating in the paint. 12 offensive boards, or +8 on the offensive glass. And you know, turnovers are a little sloppier there in the second quarter, but overall not too bad.
And that's one of those stats that if you're Dave Smart, you really key in on in the locker room and say, we got to cut those down. They're careless.
Look at Emmanuel Miller stuffing the stat sheet with 13, 6, and 4. He has been everything for this team in the first half. Andrew Nembhard not having the same type of game that he had yesterday, but he hasn't needed to do that either.
No, his presence on the court alone just kind of sets that calmness and tone, and he's impactful no matter what he's doing.
So it's 61-37 for Canada at the half. Stay with us. We'll be back after about a 12-minute break. Second half action, game 1 of day number 2 of the FIBA U18 Americas Championship.
I'd tell them up the floor quickly.
Welcome back to Canada's house, the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, Ontario. Great atmosphere here today, and they've been putting on a show, have the hometown Canadians.
Well, they're shooting 52% in the half, and there's a reason why. They're high percentage shots, and a majority of them are right there in the paint. Of course, you're seeing a lot of fast break. That's the way they want to play. They have the size advantage against Argentina, where sometimes if you have the size advantage, you want to slow it down. They also have the length and the speed and the quickness. They want to go full speed ahead, and they're not going to slow down.
Emmanuel Miller on the triple-double watch right now, doing everything for this squad as he comes back out with the original starting five that we saw to begin the game. The AAA of A.J. Lawson, Andrew Nembhard, and Addison Patterson. Once again, Patterson, the youngest on this squad, just turned 17 2 days ago. Getting some invaluable experience and definitely having a positive impact for Team Canada, who start the second half up 24. Capurro for Ecuador. Pull up, not even close. Miller pulls it down. Patterson back the other way. They missed a wide open A.J. Lawson, but Andrew Nembhard was also wide open, and he cashes it in from downtown, pushing the lead up to 27. Rivera called for the foul. Patterson, a veteran move, selling that call.
Offensive foul called on Ecuador's number 12, Rivera.
And look, attacking the paint, right? Touching the paint, kicking it out. It's a high percentage three. A lot of coaches are starting to get away from that mid-range look. They want to score in the paint or outside. You want to talk analytics. There you go, in the paint, back out again.
Long two for Miller's no good. Bediako pulls down the offensive board, gets it to Patterson for the basket.
Bediako with the dive.
I think they're going to want to use Bediako for much of the second half to try to get him to get some confidence in his game. That's way, way too easy for Ecuador. Nembhard kick out. Patterson, wing three. No good. There's Bediako again. Second offensive rebound in back-to-back possessions. Nembhard, you cannot allow Andrew Nembhard to have that look. Back-to-back threes for Nembhard here.
Left wide open, and I'm not sure where the Ecuador defender is. There's absolutely no one near him. He had to have someone guarding him. At least you're looking to make contact before you go rebound.
Bediako with the block. And some solid positioning there on the follow-up. Patterson all alone to A.J. Lawson for two more.
A.J. Lawson from Patterson.
So Canada opens on a 10-2 run, start this half out. Again, responding out of a locker room conversation. That's big time for this young group.
I like to see the application of the teachings from your head coach, and we're seeing that early in the second half. Nembhard, another steal. Patterson. Behind the back, Miller couldn't control it. He gets bailed out with the foul. He and Patterson have a little chat. Miller looked at him and said, "My bad, good dime."
Substitution now checking the game. 14 Ecuador, number 14, Giuseppe Castaneda. At the line for Canada.
Ecuador again playing in their first ever FIBA U18 Americas Championship. You know, Nemhard didn't have the offensive impact early in the game today, but in this second half, he's been almost all their offense.
You got to take that. It's muscle memory. You step into a shot with your 1-2, you got to let it go. And
Castaneda. Monceo. Got a piece of that to Emmanuel Miller, and he's breaking out down the floor for 2 more. Emmanuel Miller having his way in the first game of day 2 here in St. Catharines, Ontario. Castaneda. Sanchez tries to get into the paint, but it's sent back again. Canada's defense turned up here to start the second half. A.J. Lawson makes sure he's outside the 3. That's cash money.
well, yesterday Canada had 32 points off of 23 Argentina turnovers. Don't have that stat right now, but it's probably close to that with still almost the entire second half to play.
Oh, I was just saying, Canada's defense have been so good, and some miscommunication there. A wide open layup. Bediako sets the screen. Nemhard, little floater. Can't get it to go. Ooh, nice little move. Threading the needle. Sanchez, Monceo. Offensive rebound. Dave Smart looking to his bench, pulling out Tyrese Samuel, and Joel Brown hasn't liked the last couple possessions on D, I don't think.
Well,
great look from Nemhard to Patterson.
Samuel, I can almost guarantee is going to take out Bediako because he just let that offensive rebound happen. And hey, as this tournament progresses, you got to be mean, you got to go, you got to be hungry under the boards when you've got a size advantage like that.
Patterson with some active hands. You called it, Amy.
He's probably going to let him know too. Dave Smart right in front of us.
Patterson comes off as well. As Joel Brown comes back in. Jumper. Solid. Ecuador needs a bunch more of that. They're still down. It's 35. Lawson getting to the lane. A.J. Lawson really effortless with his scoring touch so far in this tournament. Hasn't really forced much. Yep, over and back. So many of these players, you know, a top 2 on their high school teams and prep teams, then coming to this tournament playing a different role, and nobody really seems to be forcing it.
No, and one thing you can control, what Nemhard just did was played hard on defense, got the tip. It doesn't matter what your role is, if you're 1 through 12, or if you're handling the ball, or maybe they want you to drop 20, or maybe they want you to drop 5. You can always play hard defense and play intense, and that's the tone that Nemhard has set since the minute he stepped in this tournament.
That's how you're going to stay on the floor as well. Nemhard gets cut off by Sanchez, finds Samuel. Ecuador just swarming on D. Whistle going the way of Canada there.
I think one of the biggest things that Canada's going to take away from this game today is just their balanced scoring in terms of where they're scoring the basketball. They've hit some nice outside rhythm threes. They've pushed in transition, and then when they've slowed it down, they've done a great job of getting inside and touching the paint. So they've shown threats from everywhere on the court. That's tough to defend.
Be interesting to see how much Nemhard plays in this game. I mean, it's already in hand. And it'd be interesting to see if we even see him back in this game, because, I mean, he's going to play heavy minutes in this tournament, especially after Wednesday's off day when we get back into the quarters, semis, and finals. Especially with how many guards Canada has. Monceo. There's Miller. He has his hand in everything out there.
And I can almost bet someone on the Canadian staff is charting tips and deflections. Because again, doesn't come up with the ball on that, but tremendous hustle, and it slows Argentina down.
They have to manufacture something with just 6 on the shot clock now. Ecuador late in that shot clock to get the whistle. Alvaro Quiroga.
And that points in the paint stat is now up 44-18 for Canada.
Lawson pulls it down. Miller is leaking out, leading the pack up ahead. Joel Brown attacking the rack. Yeah.
Yeah, the ball got caught on the Ecuador defender, and Brown came down on his feet.
You're not going to get the LeBron James call in this tournament. Kale, count it. Lawson back the other way. Little Euro step.
Dave Smart still coaching defense so much. That 3 that Ecuador just hit was unacceptable. He's not worried on the offensive end right now. He knows he's got guys that can score and create and hit shots. But those are the rotations. It's an air ball, but against another team, it might not be an air ball.
A rotation's a rotation, right? No matter what the score is, no matter how much you're up by. Emmanuel Miller, Swiss Army knife of Team Canada is Emmanuel Miller. Reminds me a lot of Melvin Edgem on the senior side. And there he is coming up with the steal. Miller misses it. Joel Brown there to tip it in.
And Ecuador is going to watch the film and shake their head a little bit. You have to come to the ball. You can't just pass it and lob it around against these long, athletic defenders. Canada shoots the gap. They get out and go the other way.
Ecuador is starting to get it going from range. Little tip pass from Brown. Neath. Ooh, would have been a tough finish. They're seated right beside Team Canada's bench. There's Miller. And then Joel Brown running the floor, but it's just so interesting to see the teaching points. And at this point, the players are even coming over, even though Coach Smart isn't necessarily asking to talk to them, they're coming over to ask something or to confirm something. But I think, you know, it's the biggest thing. It's one thing to have, you know, athletes, and we have a lot of second-generation athletes now coming out of Canada in the basketball side, but it's the basketball IQ. I think that goes to how solid the coaching has become in Canada, and the focus that Canada basketball has put on that. And we now have coaches that are, you know, on assistants on NBA benches and in the G League and overseas.
Dave Smart has a 92% winning percentage at Carleton. That's right,
and that's not even counting the times that he's beaten NCAA schools.
That's right. That's just U Sport, CIS numbers, but 92%. So yeah, he knows how to win. You can say what you want, but the numbers do not lie.
There's an awful lot of coaches in the stands here today as well. Not here in an official capacity.
Maybe they're here recruiting Dave Smart.
I was talking about the Canadian coaches in attendance. I just saw a couple of them just walking around, and you know they're here. They bought a ticket just to watch the game and take it all in, and I'm sure they're taking notes from Dave Smart.
Well, and I'm sure they're looking at that right there, which is future Connor Reekin going over to Carleton, and that's probably not making them feel too great, knowing that they're going to have to go against this team in the future. That dynamic duo. Getting a little bit unfair of an early start coaching a prolific shooter.
2:08 to go here. The lead's up to 40. Canada with a chance to get some players some burn, maybe try out a few things that they weren't able to do in the first game. The pearl is pure. Brown to Panzo. Rican. Samuel spins the baseline, call for the travel.
Travel call, Ecuador takes over.
Hey, it was a nice spin, but Samuel standing straight up, and sometimes your feet, you pick up that pivot foot when you're in a less of an athletic stance.
Pearl trying to explode into the lane, gets two off glass. Brown running the offense. Asking for the Samuel screen. Nice pass. Joel Brown with those little pocket passes. Ooh, that was a travel.
Travel call, Team Canada takes over.
Weza Panzo inbounding on the sideline. 1:08 to go here in the third quarter. Canada has this one in hand. Neath down to Samuel, working in the post. But that ball stuck a little too long. Rican now to Panzo. Rican getting after it. Panzo still battling. A lot of contact. Whistle comes late.
What's encouraging for Canada, though, is that you're still seeing guys relentless on the offensive rebound, pursuing it, going hard. It's tough to do when it's almost a 40-point game here.
Practice time is limited throughout this tournament, so there's no better energy level than in-game, trying to apply these things as you go, and you know the coaching staff's going to be doing that through the final quarter.
And I think a little bit also goes back to, look, these guys are wearing Canada across their chest. They've got pride, and that's, to me, that's what makes the country proud too. That's your character. You're still going hard, you're not cruising and laughing. You look at the bench, they're not joking around. They're all locked in and focused. They have a respect for what they're doing right now today.
Well put, Amy. Pearl beats the shot clock but can't get it to go. Canada can hold for the last shot. That's exactly what Joel Brown lets everybody know they're doing. Brown right in front of us. 10 seconds left. Brown fakes it, finishes. The lefty finish from Joel Brown. Time's gonna run out on Ecuador here in the third quarter. 97-55 for Canada. They continue to get it done on the offensive end, just knocking on the door of the century mark through just 3 quarters.
Today, 2 professional hockey players. Please welcome to center court from the Calgary Flames defenseman, Dougie Hamilton. And from the Arizona Coyotes.
Take a look at the third quarter stats. Canada's still shooting at a great clip from both the field and from 3. And the free throws starting to inch their way up.
Well, it was a 36-point third quarter. So even though they had a hefty lead at half, they kept their foot on the gas pedal, and the rebounds, they're just crushing Ecuador. And Ecuador's certainly not a lack of effort, but they've got to, again, use their feet, and rebounding is a lot about positioning. And even though you're undersized, yeah, you're going to give up a few, but you can also work a few in your favor.
Cleaning things up, Canada are up big time heading into the fourth. Stay with us after a short break. We'll be right back.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
Canada's house will be at home through much of this summer. Not only you have the FIBA Americas U18 Championship right now, but the senior team playing some home games this summer, and you're taking a look at some highlights from the home team in the third quarter, and Andrew Nembhard really started things off on the right foot in the third quarter.
Well, and that's the guy that consistently sets the tone. 36 points in that frame, and what I thought was so impressive, again, was where it was from. You look at the ball, where they're scoring from, and if you look at a shot chart, there's a lot of green from all over the court.
Kobe Neath, foul line jumper, no good. Foul called on Tyrese Samuel, pushing off to get that rebound. Good opportunity for Canada to see some things that they still need to tighten up. The group phase, many times, isn't the most competitive part of the tournament, but oh so important for these teams.
And often it's the best you're going to get in terms of compete level. You can play against yourself, you can scrimmage against other teams, but when you're on the court in the jersey with the fans and you're playing another team that's going equally as hard.
And I think we talked about yesterday, just sight lines as well, kind of getting comfortable with the rims, comfortable with the way things look when you pull up. There's Samuel going back to the baseline, no travel this time.
Yeah, there's that spin, and that is nice. He's so long and thin and quick that spin is going to be go-to for, I think, his entire career, because he's going to get a lot of defenders off of it.
Pearl. Jumpers off. Ecuador comes down with the rebound. Sanchez, pure.
He's got such a nice feel for the hoop. His shot hardly barely hits rim. If you've noticed, it's right through every time. When he's open, he's pretty deadly.
Manzo trying to clean things up, still getting to work down there. Ooh, a little trap here. Pull it back out. Neath steps up for the steal. He goes up top. Addison Patterson setting the highlight reels ablaze.
And the trap is not often there to steal the ball. It's the pass out of the trap that where you steal the ball. You force that high pass. But what Neath did, he gave it right back to Patterson, who caught the steal. Beautiful teamwork.
They made a little eye contact, and you knew that was coming. Neath playing a little free safety, coming up with the steal. And then wrapping it up for Addison Patterson to tear apart. And it all started on the defensive end. The lead's getting larger for Canada as they pass the century mark just over 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. It's nice to have a feel-good game for all the players on the court, but you know that they're going to be able to pick apart that tape and still be able to point out some things that they need to get better at. Samuel from range. Haven't seen him out there yet in this tournament. Monkeo over here asking for the rock. Easier said than done when you have as much length as Canada does getting into those passing lanes. Oh, and Samuel just takes it away.
And that's just the length and size, just
Joel
overwhelming.
Brown busting ankles. Tough lob to be able to pull down. Leads at 40, 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Game 1 of day 2 here at the FIBA U18 Americas Championship. Got a full slate of games ahead, 3 more coming your way.
And that's decision making from Ecuador. You got to go up with it. You can't afford to pass the ball too much.
Oh, and Addison Patterson racks up his second poster of the tournament. Addy, don't do it to him.
I wonder if Rican almost did that on purpose. He just put it right off the rim, and when you run to the rim, good things happen in transition.
I really liked what Freakin did too, because he had to spin in transition to pull that pass in. Great body control, leading to another highlight finish from the kid Addison Patterson, who takes it to the rim one more time. Patterson on a little 6-0 run himself, looking to push it up to 7.
And the story of this game is just Canada's just too strong and long and quick. And Ecuador certainly came out intense. They played a great first quarter with Canada, and then the game kind of separated, fell a little bit open. But even Patterson with that and one, just rip and go to the hoop and get fouled, and it's just flawless. He finishes in just stronger.
A 7-0 Addison Patterson run has pushed this lead up to 43. There's one guy who's been, or a couple guys who've been dead on for Ecuador when it comes from the shooting prowess. Jeez. Addison Patterson's on a mission right now.
Almost a little bit of deja vu, running down the middle of the floor right to the rim.
And Patterson has been putting together his own mixtape here at the FIBA Americas through just 2 games. Bringing that youthful energy you'd expect from a just turned 17-year-old. There's Jaden Bediako with the easy block. Patterson pushing it the other way now, keeps it himself again. They're still jumping with him. That time it's Kenning Rivera called for the foul. I'm sure he probably saw the highlight yesterday, and Rivera said, "I'm hacking him."
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't want to get dunked over top of. He was definitely going for it.
Not in a 40-point game, you know. Patterson now looking to extend his personal run here. Great crowd here on a early Monday. Oh, Charles Bediako deflected it to Ecuador. Joel Brown wants to calm it down. He understands the score, he understands the situation. He wants to run something. Gets it, Charles Bediako. Addison Patterson is just destroying the rim on that end of the floor. I hope we have a backup.
He's the garbage man. He's cleaning it all up. He's there. How about Canada? 64 points in the paint.
Patterson pulls down the rebound, pushing the other way. Rican to Bediako, right through the hands. Mateo. Sanchez fades away, front rim. They're cutting Patterson off now. Takes it himself again, gets it to go. 11-0 run from Addison Patterson right now. Taking this game over in garbage time.
Well, it's been all at the rim. Canada has 20 offensive rebounds. Ecuador has 17 defensive rebounds. So just give you just a numbers look at what the game has been about. Pace, control. Oh, it all starts on the glass, and Canada has been in complete control.
We're gonna have to double check this. I think it's up to a 13-0 Addison Patterson run right now.
Age doesn't matter. One of the youngest on the team.
Like we talk about confidence, this cannot be measured right now. Being able to get this under his belt. Here's Joel Brown, coast to coast, no good. Canada still battling for everything. Brown goes back up. Foul called.
Foul call on team number 8, Emmanuel Miller.
Patterson, we're saying, has been doing it all for Canada in this fourth quarter, and there he is again.
And while anyone considers Patterson's going to finally get his break here.
I was about to say, if anybody can cool this guy off, there's one person, Dave Smart.
Yeah. Well, and while you're sitting at home maybe and you think, oh, you know, Patterson, he's got so much size, he should do that, you know, oh, this is nothing great. You also have to understand this is a 40-point game. It would be very easy to just run through the motions. Still working his tail off, and he's still finding position, and he's still going hard. That's harder than most people think.
Just coming up on 3 minutes left here in Canada's second game hosting the FIBA U18 Americas Championship. Bediako, bad pass. Ecuador taking it back the other way. Giovanni Scott called for the goaltend.
Giovanni Scott had fumbled and tripped and actually did a nice job of not falling on the ground. His minutes are very limited, but what I've loved from Giovanni Scott, he gets up and down the court. I mean, that time he fumbled, but it's the right call. But for a big guy, he certainly does a nice job getting rim to rim.
Yeah. Bediako is moving his body, setting that screen. Ecuador calling a timeout. They want to work on some things. Every minute's important in the group stage. Try to get your team on the same page. Canada now has already put up 114 points in this game.
And Ecuador, again, you see that getting the clipboard out, drawing through some things. You also have to use this time, and especially the last 2 minutes and 38 seconds here, to almost prepare for your game tomorrow, to get mentally ready to close this one off, but continue to get better and figure out a way to maybe run through sets or get stops or set up defensive traps and rotations that you're going to want to use as this tournament progresses.
They just announced a Meridian Center basketball attendance record and the largest crowd in the FIBA U18 Americas Championship history since 1990, with 4,589 fans in attendance. Not bad for a Monday afternoon.
Yeah, you know, that credit goes entirely to the city of St. Catharines, getting the kids out here, the schools buying in and getting them here too. That's great for the organization. It's great for the city. And how awesome for the teams to be able to play in this type of atmosphere.
If you're in the area, you have lots of time. Come check out the best teenagers from the Americas taking part in this international competition. Charles Bediako loses it on his way up. No call.
Bediako, he brought the ball down. Did you see that? And when you bring the ball down, you let all the smaller Ecuador players get their hands on it. That's almost that pogo stick type rebound, and you just keep it up and tip it in.
Giovanni Scott loses it out of bounds. 2:10 left here in the fourth. Sanchez.
2 minutes, less than 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Pulls it back, airs it out. Scott, bad pass. Threw it behind his teammate. Ecuador trying to get something together on the press here, hoping to work on something for later in the tournament. Back the other way. Ecuador looking for some positivity to end off this one. They're just getting tired at this point. Don't have as many reserves as Canada does to be able to whip through off that bench. Into the corner. Hands up. No good. Bediako called for the push-off. 1:14 to go. 3 more games coming at you today on the schedule.
And that's what Ecuador needed to do the whole game, to get under the bigger players and drive them out and force them over the back.
Ecuador calling another timeout, down 41. Head coach John Escalante looking to work on some things.
And you see both coaches giving their teams instructions, coaching this one right out until the end. What's very impressive is that they're all locked in, but the Canadian bench, they're all locked in. It's different when you're down 40. When you're up 40, it's easy to kind of, you know, have little side conversations or a little bit more fun. But yeah, and it all starts, of course, with the culture and the character of your coach. It always streams down to the team. So Dave Smart did a great job from day one, what his expectations were and what his goals were, which is to compete for that gold medal.
Dave Smart taking every second that they can in that timeout. Hanzo, Freakin, Giovanni Scott, Charles Bediaco, and Jacoby Neath out there. Everybody getting some burn today. Getting some game minutes under their belt, which is going to be invaluable as this tournament continues. Again, we got games today, tomorrow, off day Wednesday, quarterfinals on Thursday, semis on Friday, and championship Saturday coming your way. Hanzo to Scott. Call for the foul.
You can look at small victories for Ecuador. They really struggled in the second half yesterday against Chile, where they only scored 21 points total in the second half. They've got 38 already in the second half against a much longer, much more athletic Canadian team. And so maybe that's something that Dave Smart might look at and not be too happy with. But Ecuador continued to look to score in the second half.
Scott wanted to make sure to hit that second one. Sanchez battling his way into the paint, pulled down by Charles Bediaco. Neath pushing the other way, has it slapped away. Freakin gets his hand in it. Hanzo, ooh, he tried to put it on him. Canada bench getting up, asking for Panzo to throw that down. Don't think they'll get another chance though. 36 seconds left in this game.
Oh, they're gonna get the chance. There's about 10 more seconds between the shot clock, and I think they're gonna want to send this nice crowd home on a good note.
Oh, almost a steal. Amy was almost right.
I thought you were gonna get your wish.
Pulls it. No good. Scott comes down with it. 10 on the clock. Dave Smart telling him no shot.
Oh, Panzo. Good thing that Canada was on their benches on the offensive side, or that was going down.
Canada wins it easily. A 40-point decision over Ecuador. Canada improves to 2-0 in the group stage. Exactly what you would expected to see from them. Everybody got some floor time today. Andrew Nemhard sat out the final 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's key, right? 6 games, we keep talking about it, but it's so important. 6 games in 7 days. It is very hard to coach in terms of minutes and rotations. But when you're able to explode and go up 40 points, it takes a lot of pressure off the staff.
And saluting the 4,589 fans in attendance. Exactly what you like to see. So the kids held up their end of the bargain on a Monday morning. Look at those rebound totals.
62, they got after it. Yeah, this is definitely something for the kids. They're probably gonna all go home and ask mom and dad to come take them back to another game. course, after school hours.
Well, Canada does play one of the late games tomorrow. So the kids held up their end of the bargain. Now it's time for the adults to do the same, to get out and support their home country.
I mean, it's not a drag. It's great. It's basketball, and it's a great atmosphere here.
And look at Patterson, finishes with 20. AJ Lawson, another solid game. And again, Emmanuel Miller just did everything for this squad. We'll take a short break and we'll be back and we'll talk with Emmanuel Miller after a short break.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
We have Emmanuel Miller, the Swiss Army knife for Canada, standing by right now, post-game interview.
Emmanuel, 19 points tonight, very efficient from the field, 63%. What allowed you to get such easy shots out there?
My teammates created for me. My teammates are such a threat on the court. I mean, by them doing what they do each day in and day out, it just makes everything I do on the court easier.
The crop of NBA players that are, the Canadian NBA players that are clear in the NBA, how does it feel to be the next generation of NBA players with all the kids here looking up to you for inspiration?
You know, just for the NBA players right now, creating a path for us, just setting the tone, just knowing that Canadian basketball is on the rise, and for us to do the same thing and follow in their footsteps, and for the generation below us, you know, it's just an amazing feeling.
Can you just comment quick on what it's like to be coached by Coach Smart?
Coach Smart, he's a crazy one, but he brings the best out of us, you know, always honest about rebounding, running in transition. I mean, Coach Smart's an amazing coach, and he's definitely bringing everything out of me.
And yesterday, at the post-game interview for U.S., I asked Cole Anthony how badly they want Canada, and he said they need it. What would your response be to that? How badly do you want U.S.?
We want it. We don't need it. We want it. That's something we need, something we want. It's something we're waiting for. Something between those lines. I mean, they can say what they want, but we're waiting. We want it.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Congratulations.
Some bulletin board material on both sides. I mean, neither team wants to look ahead, but you know both of them are thinking the same thing. And again, that will be Saturday, championship day. Barring some upsets, we're going to see some great basketball for the rest of the tournament. Both these teams are on the path that you would expect to see from the North American squads. And you're taking a look at Canada, they got it done in transition time and time again.
Yeah, their size, strength, speed, and overall athleticism was just overpowering for Ecuador, and it took a couple minutes to get into that flow, but once Canada got ahead, full speed ahead, there was no slowing them down. So Ecuador did a nice job in competing and going 100% the entire time, and you see so many points at the rim. Canada they didn't settle for anything. They really imposed their will offensively and showed ability to score, not only from everywhere on the court, but multiple players. Everyone got touches.
You saw Addison Patterson's 13-0 personal run there that put the final nail in the coffin. Canada wins easily. We got 3 more games coming to you today. Stay with us. Thank you for joining us. We're signing off now from the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, Ontario.